Hey, welcome to another episode of the Disturbed Penguin podcast. As always, this is Xavior Penguin, and get this out of my face. We are actually recording on my way home from work. Went ahead and I skipped doing any kind of recording this morning. Had a bad headache and everything, and I just couldn't. That was weird. Just couldn't stand really having to talk too loud. I still have a headache. It has not gone away. I have not had anything really to get rid of said headache. I think I've pretty much gotten used to it today, so it's just like bleh. So if you hear me speaking and talking and all that jazz to you, and I seem a little out of it, yeah, I'm tired. Mentally, physically I'm okay, but mentally it's just like fuck it. I want bed. I want bed, and that is it. Of course, we always start off with, there we go, my can of Coke. Been as weird as it has been today, I've been trying to go through a lot of caffeine. Maybe caffeine might help the headache. No. Maybe, let me take a drink. I can't think, and my mouth is a little dry. 1 second while I take a drink of ice cold Coca-Cola. All right. So, I've been trying that today. I've been trying to have little munchy food all day, like some Ritz crackers. I had my normal lunch that I would have on a Wednesday, my pasta from Domino's, which I found out that now Pizza Hut delivers to the store I work at up north in Bridgeton. So it's like, it's about time. I want those damn breadsticks. So yeah, unfortunately Pyro might not like that if he were to listen to my shitty little podcast. So yeah, apologize for no videos for yesterday and Monday. I was just too worn the fuck out. It's just not worth doing much of anything. Well, last night I also had game night, so I wasn't able to record then anyway. Monday I was just still too damn tired from camping this last weekend. Myself and a group of friends, we went over to Washington State Park here in Missouri, and we had a good time over there. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Celebrated a friend of mine's birthday. Well, my pilot celebrated his birthday. Ooh, I am going way too fast. Celebrated his birthday over there. Spent Friday, Saturday, Sunday over there. I had to come back to work on Saturday. That's a whole other story. But we got to just sit around by a fire, have food, get in our tents. Granted it was cul-de-sac camping where we had neighbors and stuff, but the neighbors were actually kind of cool. I mean, last year when we went, there was hardly anyone around. I mean, there was 1 or 2 people in the cul-de-sac. We were further away from it, and all of that good jazz. So we were okay. But this year we had some neighbors around us, and some of them were pretty cool. One guy had a guitar. He sounded like a douchebag. No, not really. Yeah, really, he did. What's wrong with you, Penguin? So we did all of that, and that was fun. What was something that was interesting that happened? Not anything that I can really think of. I mean, other than, camping. I mean, you've got all kinds of camping shenanigans that would happen anyway. I mean, it rained. It rained pretty good Saturday morning around 2 a.m., the 19th. And I'm sleeping in my tent. I go to bed, and I'm just laying down. And at that point, I'm not able to pass out or anything. So I'm just kind of laying there. And eventually, I apparently pass out. Well, around that time we went to bed, the wind was starting to pick up. It wasn't too bad, enough to blow the fire around a little bit. Then around 2 o'clock in the morning, kaboom, big crashes of thunder and lightning started happening. Wind started picking up quite a bit. I was laying on the side of the tent that the wind was blowing against, so it was really weird seeing the canvas, nylon, whatever fuck you want to call it, kind of cave in on me as I'm trying to sleep. So that got me to stay up quite a bit. I'm like, yeah, no, I can't sleep through this. And Saturday, I felt useless as tits on a bull. I was tired because I couldn't sleep through all that. If I was at home in my bed, I could sleep through a storm. But being out in the open, that vulnerable, that just there, and being inside a little bitty tent that had no kind of protection from anything other than the elements, then yeah, that was quite a bit crazy. So I was up for about another hour or two, probably didn't get to sleep finally till about 4 in the morning. Had to wake up real early, about 7:50, so that way I could leave to come back up to work on Saturday. And then from Saturday I had to do my normal job and then go back down to Washington State Park and then continue out my camping festivities. But it was good. I'll just call him Scooter. I mean, that's what we call him. That's not his name, but we call him Scooter. He's the Boy Scout of the group. Eagle Scout. And he was the one that did a lot of the cooking. Of course, he likes to cook for his friends, and his cooking is good. It's way better than mine, even though I don't cook. I follow the directions on the box, and I seem to do a halfway decent job at doing that, and food comes out fine because I follow the instructions. Well, he does other interesting shit to the meals that he makes. And we had breakfast on Sunday. Breakfast was fantastic. Oh my goodness. I had that. Come on, General, get over. That's my car's name, General. Lost my train of thought. We had garbage, which was basically hash browns, eggs, bacon, sausage, all kind of cooked over a fire. We had the cast iron skillets over a flame, and put all that together, and it was fantastic. The night before, for Saturday, by the time I got back, then that's when food started getting prepared. We had what we called Wookiee cookies, and that was tasty. Wookiee cookies, a little story about that. When we first went down to Washington State Park, we needed food. Apparently we didn't prepare enough of anything, and it was cold, and we were kind of scrounging around for food and firewood at that point. And we wanted something to eat, so I decided, all right, come on, car, get in. I'll slow down for you. Come on. Should have been in our lane anyway. I had brought some frozen hamburger patties, and they had kind of thawed because they were in the cooler. And someone had brought some whole grain sour cream and onion Pringles, And we decided, you know what? Why don't we mix the two together? Let's just get the burgers. Let's go ahead and crunch up the Pringles as best we can. And we tried. I mean, we didn't have anything good that was clean enough to put down inside the Pringles can. So we tried to crush it up the best we could. Added it on the burgers, and even while we were grilling them, we added additional breading, I guess you could say, to the burgers. And I tell you what, that was some of the best damn impromptu camp burgers I have ever had in my life. And they were, the crispiness of the chip breading just made the juiciness of the burger taste that much better. Yeah, they were frozen, who gives a fuck? But they were great tasting. They were great. And we just continued that as a tradition. You know, so every year that we go camping, we have to have some sort of a Wookiee cookie. And we had some real good Wookiee cookies this year. You know, we used regular hamburger meat that wasn't frozen, that was already made up into patties. Scooter decided to do that and get some ground beef or ground chuck, one of the two, and do that. So that was good. That was cool. And those were tasty. That was probably the big event, the big highlight was basically the food. the breakfast and the Wookiee cookies. After Sunday, we're like, let's just go home. We all wanted our beds, you know, myself, my woman, my pilot. We were all on cots. Everyone else was either on the ground or on air mattresses. And we're like, let's just go home. We want our own beds. We want to be in our own home. Tell you what, though, got ate up by chiggers, though. That was not fun. It got better. It got better. But I think after camping, what's leading me up to this next subject, I haven't had my hat on. I usually wear a hat, a regular baseball cap, one that was given to me as a gift. All right, you getting over? Or are you going to be a dumbass? All right, fine. One that was given to me as a gift, and I wear it all the time. I love this hat. It's a silly little Domo-kun hat, flat build. It's got some kind of greenish blue, plasticky type front, nice cloth back. It has the word Domo stitched in on the back, and on the front it's got Domo, or Domo-kun rather, with a beer hat that has a couple of cans of whatever beverage with tubes leading down to his mouth. And I like that. It's my all day everyday hat. Well, I haven't been wearing it the last few days. One, because it's dirty and I need to clean it. But two, figure, you know, why not? I've been getting hot lately. I mean, I did get a haircut a couple of weeks ago, and I just got the straight buzz cut. And I decided, you know what? Fuck it. Not gonna wear a hat for right now. And over the course of the last few days, well, Monday, Tuesday, I've been okay, but today I have just had this headache that I just can't seem to get rid of. Now, whenever I get home, I'm taking me some Tylenol or aspirin 1, so that way I can see if that helps. But I've wondered, and I don't know if this is medically sound or whatever, but I've wondered if having a hat on for quite a while, like every day of your life, or every day that you ever started to wear hats, if by not wearing one for a while, would that cause a headache? You know, I don't know. It's something that I've wondered, especially since today, because of this stupid damn headache, you know. And even now, me trying to talk loud enough that the microphone picks up on it. Let me even check. And I'm still going, so that's cool and all. But I've often wondered if because I am talking loud, I'm forcing pressure on my head, so it's almost making this a little unbearable. This might be a smaller podcast. Let's see, mile marker number 9. Where am I at? What is this sign? No. Doherty Ferry. Alright, I'm not too far from home, so I might be able to continue right into the driveway. I'll take you to my home. You don't know where I live. So, I've had this, like I said, this headache all day, and wondered if it's been because of, I don't know, maybe because of not wearing a hat today, maybe because I may have not gotten any good sleep last night. You know, I don't know. I don't know if by not getting a lot of good sleep, you know, there's this, I've heard the term quite often as of late, a sleep hangover, where apparently there's probably certain scientific terms that can be said. I'm smart, but not that smart. So I think it's where you don't get enough REM sleep, not REO Speedwagon, but REM. REM sleep, that causes you to dream and things like that. If you don't get enough of that, you wake up feeling like you're hungover after you've had a good night of partying. Jeez, Penguin, learn to fucking speak. And you feel sluggish all day. Oh, this is not going to do. I gotta get around you. You're driving only 40 miles an hour, causing me to go slow. And maybe that's what's happening. Maybe I didn't get any good sleep. I mean, I tell you one thing, I don't feel rested. That's for damn sure I don't feel rested. Feels like that I could go to sleep right now. Right now, I could go to sleep. And I can't because, one, breaking the law in terms of changing lanes, you know, proper showing that I'm changing lanes, and maybe hitting other people with a deadly weapon, vehicular kind of thing. No. Yeah, now the headache's starting to really form even more because I'm straining to talk. I don't know if I'll be doing any recording tonight for video games for my channel. We'll figure it out depending on how I'm feeling. I might feel better tomorrow and be able to do some. I've got a thing to do in the morning, but should be back in late afternoon. But anyway, no, the headaches, you know, there's many different kinds of headaches. You know, there's ones that are up toward the front of your head. There's some that you can get on the back of your head, on the top, behind your eyeballs. Those things hurt. Oh my goodness. The ones that are behind my eyes hurt the worst for me because, one, I've only got one really good eye, and that's the eye that I see out of every day. The other eye is just, in my opinion, it's an auxiliary eye. It just makes sure that I can see somewhat 3D and be able to see what's coming out on my right side. But I don't know what causes headaches. I'm sure that maybe one of y'all might say something, and I can look it up too, but these are just questions that go through my head when I don't have an easy source of information to get a hold of. I know one headache thing. One of my customers at work helped me out. She hurt my head though, hurt my neck, but my head felt better. She was a nurse of sorts, not chiropractic, but just kind of a nurse overall. I had a headache toward the front of my head, and it was just pounding. Tylenol or aspirin wouldn't get rid of it. Caffeine wouldn't get rid of it. Food didn't get rid of it. Sugar didn't even get rid of it. All right, so you're not turning in my lane, truck. I've given you all the time in the world. And so I'm just sitting there. I'm just like in pain. I'm talking at her, making sure I can make coherent sentences. She goes, you got a headache, hun? I'm like, yeah. She goes, where is it at? Well, it's at the top of my head, on my forehead. She goes, I bet I could fix that. So she comes around back behind my desk and puts a couple of fingers toward the base of my skull. Here, okay, you can't see me right now. So I'm motioning this as if, again, my fucking windshield is a webcam, and I'm showing you where. Anyway, she grabs kind of the back of my head, at the base of my skull, and pushes on my forehead and does that for a good 10-15 seconds, and my headache was gone. Just like that. Well, I used to snap. Whatever. And it was gone. Completely gone. I mean, I had some residual, like, holy cow, there was a headache here, what do we do now kind of thing. But it was gone. Apparently, there's a thing that you can do, and I don't know, please don't do this. Make sure you get it done professionally. She was a professional. So don't take my instructions, because if you do, you're a damned idiot, and you should not be walking this earth or breathing my air. Just to put it bluntly. So, woo, okay. Sorry, I had to hurry up and turn traffic. So what she did is she did that, and my headache was gone. Apparently, if you have a headache that's like at your forehead, the thing that she did, she basically lifted pressure off of a nerve that's near the base of the skull. And when she did that, my headache went away. So by lifting the skull a little bit, again with a trained professional, you can get rid of a headache. Now, she told me how to do it, and I've done it a few times already, and it's worked. I'm not going to tell you guys, because I don't want you all following it and say, oh, hey, Xavier Penguin, blah, 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 told me to do this, and now I can't fucking walk. No, fuck that. Fuck that. There's a certain way you have to hold your arms. There's a certain place to put your fingers. Fuck that. No, I'm not telling you. Even if you give me $1 million, no. I'll need to give you that money back, because you'll be suing me and you'll need medical bills. So, no. Anyway, and it was gone. So that was amazing in and of itself. The other headaches, migraines, I think I've had a couple to where it's just like I feel sick at my stomach, and those are not fun. I've had it to where I felt like I wanted to throw up for a good 8 to 9 hours because I had that migraine. I couldn't stand it. It was horrible. Luckily, after just being worn down from trying to keep myself, from not puking, that just wore me out so bad, I just passed out, and I woke up of a morning and the migraine was gone. Headaches like the one I've got now. Right now it's kind of light, and pressure. Sound is fine, but it's pressure. I think I've been having a little issue with pressure lately, going up and down hills, because where we went to for camping, I had to pop my ears so many times it started to hurt. Like right now, I had to pop just a little bit ago coming down the hill off the main highway. But that's usually all I do, is just bam and I'm done. But going down to camp, back up on Saturday, back down on Saturday, back up on Sunday, too many hills and peaks and valleys, and I think that's possibly also giving me a headache, I think. Because, yeah, my head is killing me. Usually aspirin or Tylenol will get rid of my headache. And a lot of times caffeine too. And speaking of that, I need a drink. There we go. Second sip of the episode. This is episode 13, for y'all keeping track. And we'll go ahead and cut it off here, as I am about maybe a couple of minutes from the house. By the time I'm done talking, I'll be done. Yeah, so I think next time, my next podcast will be in 2 weeks. I plan on trying to record at my work, so that way the audio is much clearer. Because if I try to clear this audio up now, I'm going to sound like shit. So no, I'm not even going to mess with it. You get to deal with the sound of the cars, sound of the tires hitting the road. You get to travel with me. Yeah. What's wrong with me? It's my headache. So right now, if you have any questions, if you want me to answer them in my own way, give my own advice, as long as it's not medical advice, you know, hey, I got this blister on my foot, and I don't know if I should pop it with a needle. Should I do that? No, idiot. Go to a fucking hospital, get it done. Okay. I can't stand idiots. I'm one of them at times, and I can't stand them. I'm a ginger. I'm special. So yeah, if you have any questions, you want me to answer them in my own way, probably next podcast I will grab questions that have been asked by me thus far on farlandsorbust.com with Kurt J. Mack. He every time I do my Archibald's Adventures, I'll ask a question and he answers it. So thank you again, Kurt. I appreciate that. So I'll probably answer those questions next time and talk a bit about them. But if you have any questions, if you look on the screen right about now, or even on the description wherever YouTube decides to put it, send me an email to xavior.penguin@disturbed-penguin.net, subject line podcast questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer them in my own unique way of looking at things. Maybe you want someone that's kind of southern to try to answer on various questions on how he was raised or whatnot. I'm not that interesting of a person. I talk a big game, but I'm not. That might be a subject for another episode. But anyway, I'd like to thank you all for listening in, watching the screen not change except for the information to pop up. I'd like to thank you all for watching. My name is Xavier Penguin, and I will catch you on the flip side.